The World Wide Web makes no mention of the fact that ice, or crystal methamphetamine, has changed dramatically. The new meth is called Zero and bears no resemblance to the methamphetamine being discussed in hundreds of articles and YouTube reports. It is likely that no one will update the information on YouTube or the World Wide Web because there will be an institutional deception and breach of duty. Speed, meth, glass. On the street, methamphetamine has many names. What started as a fad among West Coast motorcycle gangs in the 1970s then spread across the United States. In the meth or ice is dead and buried meth addiction across the contemporary world is repudiated. The impact on individuals, families, and communities, and the difficulty of controlling an essential ingredient in meth, ephedrine and pseudoephedrine, sold legally in over-the-counter cold remedies, has been overcome, and the new substance calling itself meth or ice has a paucity of euphoric stimulant properties. Independently undertaken research of current ice users indicated that the new meth is less than 2% as addictive, valuable, or potent as what ice used to be. The methodology and results of this research are available at an independent website. The new formulation of the substance being passed off as meth has a paucity of addictive properties, meaning that there will be little addiction caused by this new substance. It is still dangerous though. If you get caught driving with the new meth in your system, it will still show up in a roadside swab test and subsequent oral fluids test. Taking it in moderate or larger amounts causes oculogeric crisis and other unwanted effects. It is not like ice used to be, causing extended periods of sleep deprivation, positive euphoric effects, and activating come down or a longing for more. There exists a profound and systemic breach of legal and civic duty in the psychiatric failure to acknowledge, understand, accept, and diagnose the substance that has replaced methamphetamine, that is called Zero, a distinct clinical entity from the now extinct ephedrine-based crystal methamphetamine. By adhering to obsolete truth, facts, knowledge, and diagnostic profiles, clinicians and law enforcement are ignoring the reality that this new formulation has lost all stimulant and euphoric properties. When authorities continue to attribute symptoms like psychosis, paranoia, or sleep deprivation to a substance that independently undertaken research proves is 97% less potent and biologically incapable of producing those effects, they violate their moral and ethical obligation to the truth. This refusal to update clinical models in light of changed ingredients represents a failure to fulfill a reasonable obligation to provide accurate healthcare and legal reporting. Furthermore, psychiatric clinicians stand in a clear breach of legal and regulatory mandates by withholding the truth about the unknown etiology of modern drug-induced states. While the science clearly demonstrates that the new meth does not cause traditional amphetamine psychosis, clinicians continue to ignore the specific, unwanted effects of Zero, such as oculogeric crises. By presenting these modern reactions as meth addiction, despite the drug's paucity of addictive properties, they are knowingly misrepresenting the facts. This failure to report the truth, especially when they have access to the evidence of a changed chemical reward center impact, prevents the public from understanding the true nature of this new health emergency. The ramifications of this collective silence among psychiatry and law enforcement are catastrophic, creating a flow-on effect that erodes the foundation of the justice system. By colluding to misrepresent Zero as its predecessor, these institutions maintain the ability to issue roadside swab tests and legal penalties for a substance that no longer functions as a stimulant. When those with a legal, civic, and social duty to the truth knowingly withhold information about the drug's lack of euphoric effects, they commit a social betrayal. The result is a distorted legal landscape where the public is prosecuted based on the ghost of a drug that is dead and buried, while the actual risks of the new formulation remain dangerously underreported. The narcotic drug known as ice, or meth, formerly called crystal methamphetamine, has changed so radically in the past 2 years that it can be pronounced dead. It is no longer made with ephedrine or pseudoephedrine, and accordingly meth has lost all its stimulant and euphoric properties. The new drug being called meth or being called ice will not cause psychosis, paranoia, schizophrenia, or amphetamine psychosis.